Hi, my name is Debra R. Richardson of Debra R. Richardson LLC, and I work with you to help you clean up your vendor data, clean up your vendor processes so that you pay the right vendor. And speaking of paying the right vendor, this week's Vendor Master File tip of the week is, do you pay vendors via ACH? Yes, you do. Uh, Two Nacha operating rules that you need to know about. So for some of you, you may be asking, well, who the heck or what is or who is Nacha? And Nacha is the National Automated Clearinghouse Association, and that organization or the Nacha organization governs the ACH network with operating rules and guidelines. And so if you have ever processed or assigned someone to process those NOCs or notice of changes from your bank to notify you that whatever payment details or bank details you sent in the payment file for your vendor are not correct. They are sending that back in accordance with NACHA operating rules. And if you continue to send the aired banking information for that vendor, you could be reported for a violation. So same operating rules, same NACHA organization that, again, governs the ACH network. So we're not talking about that rule today. I am talking about two different rules that you may not have been aware of. So the first one is called the supplementing data security requirement, and this was effective as of June 30th of 2022. So it's at the time of the recording of this video, it's a couple months old or almost a couple months old. And so what does that rule mean? So that rule means that your vendor bank account number must be rendered unreadable at rest when it appears on invoices. And yes, I did confirm that it is invoices, that it does include accounts payable invoices. And then second, when it is in the accounting system or ERP. Now, who has to comply with this? Companies with 2 million or more ACH transactions per year. And I did have a great episode on my podcast this past week with Amy Morris. She is the Senior Director of ACH Network Rules for NACHA. And she not only talked about a grace period for enforcement, but she gave some tips on how to determine if your company meets that 2 million ACH transaction threshold. And then also, if your company does meet that threshold, how many companies have determined that they already comply. So no need to panic. Great first step is to uh, listen to the podcast and or follow the link that I will put in the description on the NACHA site directly to the web page for this operating rule. So make sure you check them both out if you think this may apply to you. All right, the second one is micro entries. And so if you do those penny tests, right, or micro deposits so that you can be sure that you're actually paying your vendor's account and not a fraudster's account, or maybe you do it as a part of just ensuring that the payment will be successful. Well, this one will affect you, and there are two phases that go along with this operating rule. And phase one is upcoming September 16, 2022, as of the taping of this video. And so if you are watching this before this date, yay, finally getting in front of something. So this really standardizes per NACHA the micro entries process, where the description now must include account verify. And so they're standardizing that across the ACH network. And again, that one's September 16th, 2022. And the second phase is March 17th, 2023, where you really need to have some way in your reporting or process to identify fraud. So if you typically send over, I don't know, 50, 100, less than that, you need to know that if you typically get back, 2% or 5% that are not correct, that if you suddenly start getting back, 50%, you have to have a way to determine that. Another way to look at it also is if you have the same bank account number being validated for multiple vendors, and that's a big indication of fraud. And you need to have a way to detect that as well. So it has to be some fraud detection, but you do have some time for that. That is March 17th, 2023. Again, that is phase 2. Now, one other thing that in addition to putting the micro entries page link, again, just like I did the other one, I have the link to this page on the Nacha site. But when you get there, take a look around. It will have links that you can sign up to be notified of upcoming Nacha rules, and then you can go to the store and you can see how you can get access to Nacha rules. And if you listen to the podcast, Amy Morris talks a lot about why everyone that touches vendors and or payments needs to have access to these rules, as well as access to the upcoming rules. So check out that episode, check out the Nacha pages that I'm putting the link to, and then get familiar with the Nacha site. All right, so if you would like more information on how to improve your vendor process, please go to my site at debrarrichardson.com for free tools and resources to prevent fraud or avoid fraud, regulatory fines, and just overall bad vendor data. So good luck, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified next Tuesday for the next Vendor Master File tip of the week.